Hello, little ones. Happy Monday. I hope you're enjoying your Monday night. So last week I did miss 2 story times, and I do apologize for that. I am looking for a new book because we are almost out of stories in this book. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you for joining me for Storytime with Moonie, where I read short stories every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for littles in every community. You can follow me on Instagram at Moonie the Space Kitty, Moonie the Space Kitty SFW, or Storytime with Moonie. The only difference between the profiles are the tags that I use. Through the profiles, you'll have access to the items I sell in my little shop. Now grab your stuffie and get real comfy. Tonight's story is The Goose That Laid the Golden Egg. There was a farmer and his wife who worked very hard but never had much to eat. Their crops did not grow as well as the other farms, and their animals never seemed to fatten up. You could see the bones on the cows, and even the pigs were scrawny. So every day in the morning, the poor couple had just a little bit of bread and a couple of glasses of thin milk. For dinner, they had just the one goose egg between them. Indeed, their goose egg dinner was their only treat of the day. If there was a morning when the goose failed to lay an egg, they had to go without dinner that evening. But, fortunately, this rarely happened. "She's a good goose," the farmer told his wife as he cut his half of the egg into thin slices. That way it went further. The goose eggs were always delicious, firm and white on the outside, and rich and yellow on the inside. "Yes," the wife agreed, "she is a very good goose, even though we can't afford to feed her much." There were times when the farmer and his wife envied the other farmers, who had all sorts of fine foods for their dinner. "If I were rich," said the farmer, "I would have roast beef every day. And if I were rich," said the wife, "I would throw away my old clothes and buy myself a beautiful new dress." Of course, they both knew this was never likely to happen, and they expected to be poor until the end of their days. Yet one morning, as the wife put her hand in the hay to collect the goose egg, her heart nearly stopped. The egg felt particularly hard and shiny. She immediately thought something was wrong with the goose. A few moments later, she was excitedly running across the field in search for her husband. "Come quickly," she cried. "The goose has laid a golden egg." "That can't be true," the farmer said when she had at last found him. Then she showed him the golden egg. The delighted farmer lifted his wife into the air, and they danced around the kitchen. The couple wasted no time in making the long walk into town to check that the egg really was made of gold. An old jeweler paid them a very handsome price for it, and so the wife was able to buy the beautiful dress she had always dreamed of. They returned home in a fine horse and carriage. The next morning, they were delighted to see that the goose had laid another golden egg, and it laid another the day after that. In fact, it seemed that the goose could only lay golden eggs now. "We must do everything we can to take care of the goose," the wife said. "We need to make its cage much stronger so foxes and thieves don't take it. When the word gets around about our goose that lays golden eggs, lots of people will try to steal it." They had the money now to take care of the goose properly, and they built the strongest, grandest cage imaginable. They also fed it the very best corn and bought it the finest hay to lay its special eggs on. All this attention worked because the goose continued to lay golden eggs day after day, and the farmer and his wife became richer and richer. In spite of this, they started to wonder how to make even more money. "Maybe if we fed the goose twice as much corn," the farmer suggested, "then it would lay 2 eggs a day instead of just one." Sure enough, after giving the goose extra corn, the next morning there were 2 shiny golden eggs laying in the cage. So they fed the goose 3 times as much corn a day, then 4 times. The more it was fed, the more golden eggs it laid. But one morning they woke to find the goose withering in pain, lying in the corner of the cage. "We've overfed it," the wife wailed. "Oh, why are we so greedy? Why couldn't we be content with just one golden egg a day?" They did everything they could to revive the goose, nursing it day and night. Finally, one morning, the goose rose shakingly to its feet. It was well again. It even laid an egg, but it was just an ordinary egg, not a golden one. In fact, the goose never laid another golden egg, and the farmer and the wife were never greedy again. They were just happy with what they had. The end. Thank you so much for letting me read to you tonight. I hope you feel safe, and I hope you feel loved. Good night, little ones.